Hey everyone, so I wanted to get this journal filmed so I can get it to its owner. And I've been a little under the weather, so hopefully there's no excuse the cough or sneeze or whatnot. Let's just hope whatnot doesn't happen because we don't know what that could be. But I wanted to get this filmed. And as I said in the post, I'm trying something different because I've done a lot of little golden book journals, and I have done a couple different ones than that, but I wanted to do something different this time. So I agreed to make this journal as long as it didn't have to be a little golden book, which I'll get back to them, but I just want to explore some new territory. So as you can see, the journal cover is actually made out of an envelope, and I covered it with wallpaper. I went to my local furniture store. A lot of times they have wallpaper, old samples that they don't use anymore, and they're just going to throw them away or burn them. And if you ask them, they're usually pretty willing to give them up to you. And on the cover, I did something a little bit different. I first I put on my band that was going to hold my cover down, or my book was going to tie my book down. This is an old coffee filter, not an old coffee filter, it's a new coffee filter that I coffee dyed, and then I inked the edges with my new ink that I absolutely love. It is Distress Oxide Rusty Hinge is the name of it, by Ranger. I absolutely love it. It's a great color. And then I have a doily. I've been wanting to play around with gluing doilies on, so I did that. Don't throw those doilies away. That's what you can do with them. And this is just a piece of like butcher paper that I crinkled up, and I took my vintage photo and kind of ran it over the top to give it some depth. This is a cluster that I was doing a bunch of clusters one time, and I pulled that out of the box, and I'm like, well, that's really pretty. I have ephemera in here from, I think this one came from My Porch Prints. I'm into using digitals, not all digitals, but I'm incorporating digitals, and this came from a kit that I purchased on Etsy. Lots of great digital downloads there. And then these are, actually they're just from the button section at Joann Fabrics, and I used that to decorate. And then the corners as well. They're just from the button section at Joann's, and I just glued them on there. And you all know my glue of choice is art glitter glue, or for this particular one, I used 3-in-1 for the fabric because it's fabric and paper, and I used the art glitter glue on these, so it'll just stay forever. So let's just dig into this. So a little backstory on this. Someone had asked me if I could do a journal for someone who had lost their son, and she's grieving, and they just wanted to get her something that she could have some scripture in and memories, and some inspiration. So I kind of geared it towards that. I did use a digital kit called Nature's Remedy, I think it was. It came from 2 different shops, but the kit is so huge. And once you download these kits, I mean, you can reprint the papers, 100 times and use them in different digital or different books and stuff. And I do a lot of mixing and matching as well. So when we open up the book, this is a little bag. It's like a little cookie bag, and I just took it and redid it, put some stuff on it. Now here I've left blank because I have a little memorial that's just for her eyes that is going to go in here. And then in here you can put paper, and she can stuff a lot more in there, so I didn't do a whole lot with that. And I have a tendency to overstuff the books because there's so much I want to put in them, so I try to be conscious of the person receiving the book as well is going to want to put some things in. So this is part of the kit. I believe it was Nature's Remedy. And these are some tags that came from the kit. So I printed out on this side, I printed out just a plain paper. It's for journaling. And on the front is, you print it out and then like a bunch of tags come out on the same sheet that you can cut out. And then this would be for journaling. This is a coffee dyed paper that I did. That's for journaling. Again, I believe this was My Porch Prints, and another journal card. And I watch a lot of Scrimping Mommy, Amanda Charlesworth from Scrimping Mommy. And she was the one I watched a video, and she used a lot of paper clips and stuff. I'm like, oh, I really like that idea. So I feel like I'm growing in my craft and learning more and more every day. This is just for some aesthetics. She can put pictures here, journal here. I tried to leave room where she could put things in it. A little couple tags that I had made. I have scripture throughout the book. I have some more journaling little booklets that she can use. Excuse me. And then, of course, I've tried to put little things in. Death leaves a heartache, no one can heal. Love leaves a memory, no one can steal. So just some little inspirational quotes for her. More aesthetics to the book. This one is actually a pocket that has a tag. And then I've left just glued around here so that I could put more pockets in there. Or more tags in there, I should say. And this one, this is the other half of an envelope, the top of an envelope. As we get further back, you'll see where I did that one. And I wanted to do something a little different, so I glued these little flip outs on either side. And then she can journal on those. And this is another part, actually this is the eco dyed. I can't wait to start doing some more eco dyeing. And here's some little tags. Here's some little inspiration. I thought that really went well together. And then we have more scripture, more tags. Here's a little spot she can do memory verses if she'd like to. This one is just a little glassine bag. And this is another little envelope with a little paper clip that I had found. And this has a writing spot. Another place for pictures. Another place for tags. This is a little something for her. I'm going to leave that just for her to see. I won't share that one. And then another little journal spot. Journaling or pictures can go here. On this side, I have a little envelope. I was playing with these one time. I'm trying to use things that I've made in the past as well. Because I made them for this purpose, where I could quickly grab something. But then when I glued it on, I just glued the 3 sides, so then I could make another little pocket. And I just put these journaling tabs, did some sewing across the top. That's fun. I have another project I'm getting ready to do that involves sewing. Oh, I didn't get to the middle because I think I had it paper clipped. Here's the middle for journaling. So now this is a signature. I made one signature, and so now you'll see the other side of all of those other elements that I did. Another spot for journaling, pictures. The other side of the glossine bag that has another little place for her to journal. More journaling. These are some tickets that came with the kit. I just backed it with a cardstock piece of paper. I wanted to make it a little more sturdy, and then gave her some writing paper. The other part of that little pocket envelope thing. And this is the other part of that eco dye paper. I really love eco dyeing. It's really fun. It's a little time consuming, but the result's really awesome. And then this is the other part of that envelope. So I just made it a little tuck spot. And then in this one, I added another little pocket, but then I added a little book. This came with the kit, Field Notes, and then I just did the sewing in the little book. And more journaling. This one became a pocket as well as a place to journal. And sometimes these ideas just come along as you're working. And I thought, well, I want to put this in here, but I want to make it a pocket, but I want her to open it up to be able to journal as well. And I thought, oh, well, that came with the kit. I'll just put that there, and then that little page tucks right under there. So that was kind of fun. More journaling. And the other part of that envelope, another little journal book. Just a little tuck spot here where I've tucked a few things in. An envelope that came with the kit, and it has another spot. And more pictures, journaling. Another spot she could put some pictures. This one, again, this was made out of an envelope that you get in the store. Or you get in the mail. Oh boy. And you know, you get those big envelopes with Dish Network or that such, and then you just take glue your papers around it, and you can make little window pockets. So I did that, and then I just backed the inside with paper, but it also became a spot to tuck papers behind as well. And this tag is something new I just learned. I was watching one of the crafters, and he had come up with this, and I thought this was so cool. It just looks like a tag, an ordinary tag, but if you open it up, it's actually, I took a piece of coffee dyed paper, and yeah, it's actually a journaling. She can journal every, you know, day or little memories, and but yeah, and then it's actually looks like a tag when it's in there. So, and then I just used this is just a piece of cotton fabric that I ripped apart, and actually came from a tablecloth, and I just coffee dyed it. And yeah, I really love how it turned out. I was really excited to do something different. And so now I'm working on a whole new, what's new for Laura? Let's see. Real quickly, I'm just going to go through some things I'm working on. So this is something I learned from another crafter, and basically she just took the 4 pieces of paper, and I'm going to sew around the outside of this. It was 4.5 by 2 1/4, and then what you have left over you can use as tags, but I've fooled around with different papers, and so that isn't always the case, because I don't always use I think she was using a 6 by 6 or something. But that, yeah, then you stuff your little tags in there. Now this would go in a book. You can take a spot in a book and you can glue that in, and then this becomes a pocket if you just glue the 3 sides, and then all of your tiny little pockets become also little journaling spots. So I thought that was so awesome. I just loved that idea. So I sat down and just put a bunch together. But like I said, I haven't been feeling well, so I haven't had a chance to sew them. And then I wanted to try some out of book pages, so I tried that. Found some more paper that I thought was cool, and I'm having the next journal I'm working on is on my brain, so some of that. And so I've got to sew those together. So the next thing I'm working on is I've been wanting to make a mushroom journal forever. I've been wanting to make a mushroom journal, and I'm going to be using a Reader's Digest book. Now that's where I get a lot of my papers. I have quite a collection now of Reader Digest. You can find them everywhere. They're usually at a garage sale, a thrift store. You can find them everywhere. And don't feel bad about redoing them, taking the papers out, because you know, a lot of times these just sit around and they get so brittle. People throw them away. They get burnt. You're just giving life back to the book. You're giving it another life. So this is the original cover I was going to use, but I actually picked up these 2. the other day, and I was like, oh, I really like that for a mushroom journal. And I couldn't decide which one I wanted, but I think this one. I think this one is the one I'm going to go for. So I'm going to gut that out and start my journal off. So I thought I might try to get some videos done and show the process of what I've learned from other people. But in the meantime, I'm just fooling around with making pockets and ephemera. And so I've just pulled out anything that I have that could possibly deal with mushrooms. And so I have this nice stamp set. This is a stencil, and I have a couple different ways I'm going to use that, a couple new techniques I want to try. I have another mushroom set. I have just some more like this Rolodex type card that I made. I want to make some more of those. This is ephemera that digital that I had gotten off of one of the sites I'm on, and I'm just fussy cutting some pieces, and I just want to get a bunch of stuff together before I actually start doing the journal. So once I am ready to do it, I don't have to spend a lot of time stopping and like, oh, I have to make something, I have to make a pocket, I have to make a tuck spot. I just want to be mindful before I start the book to actually get that stuff together. This is from an Etsy shop, and it's called Kleeblatt, Kleeblatt Creations. Kleeblatt Creations. And they had a really nice mushroom kit that I found all these this one actually was a free one that you get. I went to Pinterest. Pinterest always has a lot of free stuff. But this was part of the kit. And see, you just cut out all these little pockets, and you have belly bands and tags, and then you can incorporate your own stuff as you go along. And usually when I get working, a lot of my own ideas start popping up, or different ways I can display things or use things. Sometimes I use them all, sometimes I don't. Some very just general tags. And then here's this came from Nature's Remedy, so I'm going to be using that as journal spots on back of these mushrooms, and I don't remember where I got that one. But then yes, these are all different, and then that'll be part of the journal. And then I'll add eco-dyed paper, my own coffee dyed, tea dyed. And then I just started going through my scrapbook paper, and I'm just starting to put things together as to what I want to do for my next journal. So I've been wanting to do a mushroom journal forever. So I'm going to try and film when I am working on the journal, and showing you how I take the book apart. And you can find this anywhere. You don't have to wait for me, but I will show you how we're going to take that book apart without ruining the spine. And then your pages are, you know, sometimes in here you can find some really beautiful pages that you can use as well. Nothing for my mushroom journal, but definitely. And so these pages you would use for other things. I've used them for tags, and well, you've seen kind of the stuff, the book, well, I just made one. You use them to rip for, you know, you can rip them down to make your other things. So yeah, so that's what's happening. That's what I'm doing. I hope you enjoyed viewing this journal, and I'm very excited to get it off to its new owner, and I pray that she is blessed by this. And just, you don't know this person, but God does, and keep her in your prayers, and just lift her up, because losing a child has got to be the hardest thing ever. I can't even imagine. So thank you, everyone, and have a blessed day. Enjoy the rest of your day and weekend wherever we're at and getting this video up, and I'll try to get some videos done. Bye.